Eggs have had one of the stranger rehabilitation arcs in the history of nutritional science. For roughly 30 years, Americans were advised to limit egg consumption based on concerns that dietary cholesterol would raise blood cholesterol and therefore increase cardiovascular risk. The 2015 Dietary Guidelines Advisory Committee quietly dropped the specific recommendation limiting dietary cholesterol to 300 milligrams per day. And the science that led to that reversal tells us something important not only about eggs, but about how confidently we should hold any single nutritional claim at any given moment. Here is what we know with reasonable confidence. A whole large egg contains 6 grams of high biological value protein, all 9 essential amino acids in excellent ratios, along with roughly 147 milligrams of choline, 77 calories, vitamins D, B12, B6, A and E, selenium, zinc, and the carotenoids lutein and zeaxanthin concentrated in the yolk. That yolk, the part that was demonized for cholesterol content, is where most of the micronutrient value lies, which is why the egg white omelets of the 1990s were a nutritional step backward despite their cardiovascular good intentions. For approximately 70% of people, dietary cholesterol from eggs has minimal impact on serum LDL cholesterol because the liver compensates by reducing its own cholesterol synthesis when dietary intake rises. However, a real subset of individuals, sometimes called hyperresponders, do show measurable LDL increases from dietary cholesterol, and this is a genuine biological variation that the blanket "eggs are fine for everyone" narrative tends to gloss over. People with familial hypercholesterolemia or known cardiovascular disease may warrant more individualized guidance and should have this conversation with a physician rather than assuming the population-level finding applies to them personally. The choline content of eggs deserves special attention because it addresses one of the most widespread nutritional insufficiencies in the American diet that receives almost no public health attention. Approximately 90% of Americans fail to meet adequate choline intake, and choline is essential for acetylcholine synthesis, directly relevant to memory and cognitive function, as well as for liver fat metabolism and fetal brain development during pregnancy. 3 eggs per day approaches or meets the adequate intake for choline for most people, and no other commonly consumed food delivers choline in comparable concentration. Lutein and zeaxanthin, the carotenoids concentrated in egg yolks, are among the most studied nutrients for eye health, specifically for reducing the risk of age-related macular degeneration and cataracts. The bioavailability of lutein from eggs appears to be significantly higher than from plant sources like spinach and kale, likely because the fat in the yolk enhances absorption. 1 egg per day is well within the range supported by evidence for most healthy adults. People who eat eggs daily as part of a balanced diet without excessive saturated fat from other sources appear to face no elevated cardiovascular risk in most large epidemiological analyses. The whole egg yolk and all, prepared simply by poaching, boiling, or scrambling without excessive added fat, is among the most nutritionally efficient foods at the price point available.